Hi everybody, thank you for logging on to our virtual tour here at the Toronto Film School Online. My name is Steve Hoffner and I'm the Program Coordinator for the Toronto Film School Online Video Production Program. Welcome, it's exciting to have you as part of this journey with us. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what our program has to offer, a little bit about me, kind of some of the things and takeaways that you're going to get out of this super cool program. So first off, who am I? Well, I am a film producer in Toronto, here in Canada. And you know what? I've kind of done a little bit of everything throughout my professional career. I started off as talent, the stand-up comic, believe it or not. And so I learned a lot about being in front of the lens. And then I decided, you know what? It'd be super cool to learn a little bit more behind the lens. So as a graduate from the University of Toronto, I pretty much taught myself my skill set. And I learned how to direct, produce, edit, write. And you know what? I think it's something that I wish that I had an online platform like this to sort of carry me forward at the time. And this was, you know, I'm a little older now, but you know, about 20 years ago, we didn't have something like this. So, but for me back then, it was just really important to learn everything. And thank goodness, because we live in an industry now where it's very hard to just be a one-trick pony. Not to saying that you can't be and you shouldn't specialize, but I think it's super important to learn all elements of video production. So, I mean, for me, I started off at the National Hockey League as a video editor. I was blessed to have a job there and start off as you know, my professional career with the Professional Sports League. And I worked my way up the ranks to features producer. I traveled, you know, all across North America and Europe, shooting videos and interviews, and a lot of original productions I was a part of. And again, I can't say enough about, you know, learning all there is to know about video production, you know, because I never would have been able to carry forth a position like that if I only knew just one thing. So it was super exciting to be part of that. And you know, since then I've started my own production company at 383 Pictures, where you know, I work with very esteemed brands. I direct national commercials. I write. I was in development with a project with Entertainment One just last year for a television show. So, you know, it's super important that I keep the ball rolling, and something like this, to be a part of this program and to be a part of this initiative, I'm just super excited. And I really want to show you guys what this program has to offer. So I guess starting off, I mean, I think that we wanted to give students something to start with. Now, if you know absolutely nothing, the first couple of courses I think are for you. And even if you do know something, it's going to be great to learn from professionals and to get that extra, you know, top up. So our first two courses that we offer are Intro to Production and Story Fundamentals. And now I was brought in really to put in some information that maybe, because again, this is an evolving landscape and you can't just be stagnant anymore. So every year we are looking at the curriculum, we're making sure that things are up to date, that we are modernizing our curriculum and we're making things relevant. Because really, being an online program, it's so important that we are creating a connection and a community. So you don't just feel like you're just part of something and, you know, some guys behind a desk writing you an email, but you're actually part of a community and a teacher that's willing to listen, that you see often. And this is the future. You know, online is really the future of education. So let me get into the details of our program itself. And I think that for us, when we created this, it was important that we really give students an A to Z understanding of what video production is all about. And starting off, you can't start a curriculum really without an intro to video production. So that's really how we kick things off with our curriculum, and also in that same term, story fundamentals. Intro to production is really exactly how it says. You know, we're going to give you the ins and outs of what it is to create original productions, from cameras to lensing to lighting, to audio, post-production. This is sort of an A to Z of exactly what it takes to sort of build something from conception to the end. But again, it's an introduction. So I wouldn't be too scared if you've never done this before. It's going to be something that you can really ease into, and our instructors are excellent. They're just going to let you, you know, they're going to walk you through everything, and I'm really confident you're going to love it. So even if you have knowledge, it's going to be a really nice top up for that. And of course, story fundamentals. Now, you can't really tell a make a movie without a good story. And this course is a super, super interesting course. To understand how to make a story, you have to understand things like the archetypes, how to build a hero, the very foundations of humanity's storytelling. And this course really is a beautiful way to introduce you to the conceptions of storytelling, which will lead us into the second part of our writing program, which is script fundamentals. And learning how to write a script is very different than just writing a story. And Daniel Sacco and Nicole Saltz, who are our two really awesome instructors, are going to lead you through the way with those. And Daniel, what they've done is basically create a program that, again, if you've never written a screenplay, if you've never seen what Final Draft is all about, we're going to make sure that you know exactly what you're doing by the end of this. And in terms of writing characters, writing dialogue, and in this course, you're going to be writing your first treatment. And again, when you don't understand, it's like building a house, right? When you're building a screenplay or a story, you have to have a solid foundation. So those first two courses are really going to give you that elements, and I'm really excited to bring those to you. And when in terms of moving forward, I think that I talk about knowing everything. Our curriculum really gives you the opportunity to learn everything. And again, we introduce you to production, we've introduced you to stories, but then there's also post-production, right? Editing. I mean, that's my forte. I'm happy to say that I've actually taken the new position to teach editing 100 and 102. So I'm really excited to be part of that in this journey with you. Again, I come from 15 years of experience, and again, putting that jigsaw puzzle together of what you've shot and learning the fundamentals of Adobe Premiere Pro, and again, editing your scenes together from what you've shot is a super exciting process. So we're going to give you the tools to learn all that, and a little bit of a history as well on exactly how that film editing works from conception and theory to the more practical way of putting something together, and the certain styles that come with that. You're also going to be putting together music videos and all other kinds of fun things like that in our more advanced editing program. So super excited for that. And again, our other step in post-production is our motion graphics course, which is super cool. You're going to be learning the ins and outs of Adobe After Effects, and learning with animations and text. Again, this is something that is super, super creative. And for all you people that love VFX and being behind a desk and putting these animations together, our instructor, who is super advanced on this side of things, is going to give you the tools for that as well. There's a lot of business that needs to be discussed when you're making films. And you can't just be a creative person without knowing the business. And I can't emphasize that enough, especially in this day and age when making money is very important. And don't get me wrong, I know what it's like to be an independent creative and to be doing your own thing. But at the end of the day, you still have to make money. So part of what we're trying to teach here as well is career development and making sure that once you're done this curriculum, that you're going to be able to build a business plan. So we have a couple courses offered with a couple of amazing instructors that are going to give you the tools to build your brand. One of the major assignments is to build a marketing strategy for you and either yourself or your business moving forward. And then also seeing exactly how to build a business plan and from A to Z. What kind of market are you trying to get into? Because again, branded content is a super, super important tool in this day and age. So we have a couple instructors that are just going to, again, give you the necessary tools to understand what it means to promote yourself through social media, through your website. All these things that are it's super cool to be creating stuff, but if you can't get the word out or market yourself, you're really not going to be able to get as far as you could. So I can't express how super positive I am about those things. And that was something that I came in with my business experience, because I've worked in the corporate environment. I've worked on Bay Street. I've worked with corporate clients, but I'm also an independent filmmaker. So it's important to understand both those elements and understand that you can combine the two and be very successful in this business. Moving forward, I think that the rest of the courses are going to be super specialized, right? I mean, you have directing for digital media, producing for digital media, We're going to give you some opportunities to make your own short films. And again, it's something that we make sure that wherever you are, you're going to be taking those next steps from what you've learned in the last course. So we're not gonna like let you start making films without knowing the fundamentals of how to make a story or how to write a script. And I've seen a lot of programs that have maybe skipped steps, and by the time you get to the end, you're like, well, I didn't learn that part, in earlier stage, but that's not going to happen. So when you go to picture and you start making your own stuff, everything's going to be kind of just perfectly coordinated for you to take that next step. But one of our key ventures and assignments is writing, producing, directing your own short film, and that's going to be something that is going to be used as a calling card for you once you graduate from this program. I'd love to see it in film festivals someday, because you will be that good if you see this through. And I can't express enough how excited I am to have the instructors on board to bring that to you. And let me tell you a little bit about the people that are teaching here. So one of our lead instructors is Keisha Ray, who is a production coordinator on some of the most prestigious Hollywood films out there. He's worked with pretty much every Marvel movie you can imagine, like the Avengers Endgame, Captain America, the Star Trek films, you name it. I mean, he's pretty much been involved with all of them, and has seen things from the post-production light and a production. So he teaches multiple courses in our curriculum, so I'm super excited to introduce you to him. And we have a couple of, again, I mentioned before, a couple of great writers that have come on board. Nicole Saltz is a CFC graduate, and who's worked with a number of clients. She's been published in multiple magazines for her work. And Daniel Sacco, who is a PhD graduate and someone who specializes in genre. So we're going to give that all to you in those courses. And I said a little bit about myself as an editing instructor here, so I don't want to say too much more about me. But again, I think that some of the instructors here, like Christopher Lane, he's done, he's got 30 years of experience under his belt, and he's going to walk you through a bunch of the producing elements in our curriculum, as well as our ENG course, which I didn't mention before. But ENG is something that I can't stress enough is so important, and that's how I made my way of life at the NHL for many years, was electronic news gathering. That's the fancy word for shooting outside. And so basically, you'll be learning the ins and outs from Chris on how to shoot interviews on the streets, to put features together, editorial pieces for news. And again, it's a really advanced program, and Chris has been working with some, the biggest networks in Canada, like Chorus and CBC for years on end. So he's going to give you an introductory for that. And Amy Wong, who is our new instructor for our building your own brand course, and she's going to give you the A to Z on how to again build your brand and how to understand and market yourself on social, and again find a business plan that works for you. And as well as Blaine Waters, and he's the one, I guess, once you graduate to that final term, he's going to walk you through building a portfolio and that career development step. And Blaine is he's done it all. I mean, he's been working on a couple of huge writers' rooms for Netflix, including Lost Girl and Between, which was picked up by Rogers as well. And Blaine has been working with Telefilm on a film that he's currently working on, and Blaine is someone I look up to. I actually went to school with him at U of T, and it's great to see him do big things in the writing capacity. So, but he's also a producer, and I'm sure you're going to love him as well. And I do want to say, if you have any questions, please do leave them below, because we have advisors ready to go on standby to answer anything and everything that you might be looking to know. People ask me, who's this program for? And really, and I'm not trying to just sell the program, but it's really for everybody. Whether you're a YouTuber or a marketer or an independent filmmaker, this program really is for you. And what really makes this program special is the fact that you can do it anywhere. Whether you are in the outskirts of Newfoundland or in a remote place in Alberta, you can do this online on your time. And I can't stress that enough, because again, we live in a day and age where time is of the essence, and time is the most valuable thing that people have. So Whether you have a family or you just don't live in a major city, this program is perfect for you. And people also ask me, okay, well, what kind of careers can I get out of this? And there's so many. I mean, I mentioned a lot through, talking about the curriculum, but, whether you want to be a director, a producer, a video editor, even a marketer, a YouTuber, all these things are career outcomes that you can achieve through our program. And just again, before I sign off, again, I just want to welcome you and thank you for joining us. Again, it's going to be a 24 months of work for you, and it's something that can be done on your own time, and something that I'm super excited to have you a part of, and I can't wait for you to get started. So welcome, and thank you for joining.